Topeka, Kansas, you know it as Road America, the racetrack, but for the NHRA drag racing series, it is also a massive round of the drag strip. Round 19 of 22. We start with pro stocks. Here is how they work their way through the elimination ladder, and coming the other way, you can see how we work ourselves down to the semi-finals. We'll look at the first of those, Warren Johnson and Tom Martino, both of them in Pontiac Firebirds. The far lane is Warren Johnson, near camera here is Tom Martino. Warren Johnson shooting for his 4th championship win, and gets a good launch. Nice getaway from Warren Johnson, takes it at the line. 4:55 RT, his elapsed time 6:9:51 and a speed of 197.23 to wrap up his 4th Winston Points Championship. Second semi, Jed Coughlin's old Cutlass, Jim Yates in the Pontiac Firebird, and this is on board. Don't get to see a great deal in the short time available, especially under lights, but it's victory for Coughlin. He goes through to the final in the Oldsmobile, and he won it at the starting line. Identical ETs and top speeds, but he got the quickest launch. So Jed Coughlin will come up against the old man, Warren Johnson, 4th NHRA Drag Race Championship in the Pro Stock category already sealed for him. Johnson away from camera in the GM Goodwrench car, the Pontiac Firebird. Jed Coughlin in the black and yellow Jeb's Oldsmobile Cutlass. And this is a real grudge match here. Nothing to choose between these two all the way through qualifying. They're both clean staged. Away they go. And again, riding now with Jed Coughlin. And it'll be a photo at the line. Let's see what the result is. Warren Johnson takes it, 197 and 694 against 695 for Jed Coughlin. And the reaction time, well, 0.429 for Warren Johnson in the black car, 0.428 of a second for Jed Coughlin in the black and yellow machine. They don't come closer. Warren Johnson wins at Topeka by 7 thousandths of a second. His 5th victory at Hartland Park.
Warren, pretty good day at the office. Winston Championship and another event win.
Well, not too bad considering we started from the 8th spot, but we knew coming in that, we hadn't qualified well, but we could pick up on that after we got the few little parts and pieces in that we needed that we didn't have during qualifying, but we were just lucky to win this. Jeggy's awful tough out there, and actually all the guys right now, it's so close that it's just a kind of a shootout out there, and when your day is going right, that's fine. When it isn't, you just have to grin and bear it.
Well, Warren Johnson's days have been going very well this season. 3 rounds of the series left, and he's already out of reach as the champion for 98. Moving on then to the fiberglass-bodied funny cars. And nearest camera here, Al Hoffmann burning out in the Firebird here with its Keith Black Hemi. And he's up against redoubtable Tony Pedregon in the Mustang. That's how they came through the funny car elimination ladder. John Force and Cruz Pedregon, the other quarter-finalists. Chuck Etchells, Jim Epler, Ron Capps and Whit Bazemore all go through up against them from the second half of qualifying. So Pedregon and Hoffmann. And Tony Pedregon will be wanting to extract a little revenge for his boss, John Force, that Hoffmann eliminated last weekend. And a big explosion at the line. Pedregon's engine goes up in a pretty impressive blow up there right at the line. So some more downtime there as they clean the track, but a very close race. 475 to 463 start times. Al Hoffmann wins it from Tony Pedregon, 5.113 to 5.133. Cruz Pedregon versus John Force. Cruz in the Firebird, and nearest camera, John Force in the Mustang. Away they go, and John Force in big trouble right from the get-go. 50 feet down the strip, and he's in big trouble. Crossed the centre line. And that means that Cruz Pedregon, despite all of that tyre smoking at the start, gets the win. Chuck Etchells, far side, nearest us, Jim Epler in his Avenger. And a red, Epler pulls a red, so he's fouled that, and Chuck Etchells, well, he jumped the gun perhaps a little, but Jim Epler pulls the red there in the Avenger, and the Chevy Camaro driver goes through. And Etchells trying to control the smoking tyres so that he gets a good run for lane choice, but it won't happen for him. Ron Capps furthest away, Whit Bazemore closest to us, both of them in Chevy Camaros. Good launch from both cars, and this is a very close one all the way to the line. And the winner, Ron Capps on the far side. The Copenhagen machine takes it. So Capps takes lane choice over Chuck Etchells by virtue of this quickest qualifying run. And Hoffmann gets the pick over COUGHLIN. So Hoffmann going for the far side. COUGHLIN on the near side. That's what he's left with. Al Hoffmann figuring maybe the left lane is a fraction quicker. Whoa! Well, COUGHLIN has no more to do with it there. PEDREGON and Hoffmann both losing traction badly at the start. PEDREGON backing right out of the throttle. Lucky he had an engine left to try and come back with. But Hoffmann managed to sort it out without such dramatic action, and he wins it. Ron Capps, far side. He's taken that lane choice. Chuck Etchells stuck with the right lane. Good launch from Etchells. Riding here with him. Well, that's too close to call with a naked eye as well. And finally, Ron Capps pops the chute. He's won that one, and he will go into the final against Hoffmann with lane choice. And he won that one, Ron Capps, by 1/1000th of a second. So the funny car final should be quite something. Hoffmann versus Capps. Capps in the Camaro, Hoffmann in the Firebird, so it's an all-GM affair, and Hoffmann looking for back-to-back weekend wins after winning last weekend in Memphis. Capps hoping to close the points lead on John Force. Force out of it so far. Well, Hoffmann really spun up the back wheels. Capps gets a great pass and then has the blow at the end. That'll be expensive, but he got the result he needed, and the extinguishers will deal with that. Let's have a look again at the start. Look at the left-hand side of the picture, backing out of the throttle, absolutely slamming it down twice to try and control the wheel spin. The second time, I think, was probably mechanical failure induced by that first lift. These engines, once they are revving, don't like to be unrevved. If that's a verb, I'm not sure it is. John Force, the championship leader, but Ron Capps really closing here with victory this weekend to come to within 50 points of the series leader and former champion. On to Top Fuel then. Let's have a look at how the top fuelers came through their elimination. Well, we've got Larry Dixon and Kenny Bernstein in this first, but Skelty and McLenathan and Kalita and Head in the other side. Dixon, Bernstein, Dunn and Kalita are the other quarter-finalists. So Kenny Bernstein and Larry Dixon, both in McKinney-built rails. This is round two, the battle of the beers. King Kenny in the Bud machine, and he has a bad launch, but he recovers superbly, and that is the mark of the man. He pedals this machine so well. He was dead at the start to the Miller Lite car of Larry Dixon, and yet the Bud King rail wins it. 5.624 to 5.840. Jim Head, nearest us. What a run he gets against Connie Kalita in the far lane. Kalita smoked the tyres and shut it down. Well, Head keeping the power under control, didn't smoke him up, but apparently he lost an engine right at the end of that one. Doug Kalita then in the qualifiers. Whoa, and that is a pretty frightening accident for Pat Dakin, his rival. Doug Kalita and Pat Dakin, this was in the eliminators, and a little gust of wind catching the front of the car as he gets it nose up, and it's a frightening looking accident. Well, he was cut out of the car. He was conscious throughout and was taken by air evac helicopter to a local hospital. But look at the state of the car. So Doug Kalita now in his quarter versus Mike Dunn on the far side. And Doug Kalita getting a great launch in his McKinney rail. And Mike Dunn not able to counter that. 4.6.33, 4.6.51 were their 2 times. Mike Dunn coming back strongly though with a 3.15.9 top speed. Corey McLenathan, near lane versus Gary Skelsey on the far side there in the Winston rail. And that really is a close one. Well, Corey McLenathan winning that one, holding off a hard-charging Skelsey. McLenathan then gets lane choice. And here he is in the near side lane, leaving Jim Head in the far lane. Head launches, but problems right from the word go, but an enormous and hugely spectacular loss of his engine for Corey McLenathan. Well, exploding engine, shredding the tyre. Jim Head probably lucky he wasn't alongside and just behind Corey McLenathan at that stage. And the Big Mac man bails out, waving to the crews. Let's have a look again. Head's already out of it here at this stage. And what an impressive blow-up. You can see why they like running these things at night. Well, Corey McLenathan perfectly okay, but lots of work there from the mechanics to get the McDonald's rail back into action. Pops the chute because, of course, he has no brakes. Well, he manages to skid to a halt. He's out okay. Kenny Bernstein then, far lane, nearest us. Doug Kalita. And Kalita launches badly. Up in smoke as soon as he hits the power. Has to back out of it and shut down to avoid destroying the engine. Bernstein losing a bit of traction mid-strip, but does the job. Gets it to the finish. Bernstein, the quickest pass of the night. But Corey McLenathan still gets lane choice by virtue of his faster ET. So, Corey McLenathan taking the near lane and Kenny Bernstein the far lane. Maybe that's the way Bernstein would have chosen it, who knows? Let's see these 2 giants in action. Bernstein is out. Oh, no, he's not. Never count him out. Well, both of them in trouble there. Both of them having real traction problems, as everybody has here at Topeka. But Kenny Bernstein, I really thought he was shutting it down then. Look at this. See the flames disappear from both men. Corey McLenathan right back on the hammer, but Kenny Bernstein really takes his time as they leave sways of cloud smoke, and Bernstein just can't deal with all that lost traction. These guys on and off the throttle all over the place. Well, Corey McLenathan then, despite a blow-up at the end, taking his 6th victory of the season, and that ties the record for most top fuel wins in a season. He also moves ahead of Bernstein in the series.